As the title suggests, Toni Cipriani isn't exactly one of my favorite GTA protagonists. In fact, he is my least favorite among the ones who actually speak. In this video, I'll break down exactly why I can't stand him. Before we get into it though, a quick disclaimer. This is all just my opinion, so if you agree with it, that's great. If you don't, that's also fine. Fucking idiot.
I'm joking.
Being the Shadow of Salvatore Leone. From the very start of Liberty City stories, Toni's entire arc revolves around strengthening Salvatore Leone's empire without doing much of anything for himself. Now, don't get me wrong, working for someone and helping grow their business isn't a bad thing. Actually, my favorite protagonist, Luis Lopez, is doing exactly that for Toni Prince, but the difference lies in the dynamic between the characters. Toni puts his life on the line for Salvatore, literally. He went into hiding after carrying out a hit on a made man, all under Salvatore's orders. When he finally returns to Liberty City, you'd think he'd be welcomed back with open arms. But no, Salvatore barely shows him any respect, instead of rewarding his loyalty. He places Toni low in the family's hierarchy and even puts Vincenzo in charge of him.
Vincenzo will look after you. You need some money? Ask him. You need a job? Lucky he'll take care of you. What more could a family guy ask for? Even my son done got it so good.
But, Mr. Leone, I thought we got history. I mean, I've done a lot for this family. And now you're expecting me to take orders from this... Well, it just doesn't seem right.
Toni, I know what you did, and no one is more grateful than me, honestly. But the idea that you walk in here and start to question my leadership right away is, quite frankly, out of order. Capiche?
I understand, boss.
Toni deserved more respect for risking everything, but the relationship is clearly one-sided. There is no real appreciation, no mutual respect. Now contrast that with Luis and Toni Prince in the Ballad of Gay Toni. Yes, Luis works for Toni, but they treat each other as partners. Toni sees Luis as more than just a muscle. He respects him.
I'm proud of you, man. Thank you.
And Luis respects Toni for helping him rise out of the streets.
Hey, you saved me, man. Made me. Gay Toni will always be the king of this town. You are this town.
Now look back at Toni and Salvatore. You never get that kind of moment. Toni just follows orders without question, barely expressing a personality of his own. He comes off more like Salvatore's lapdog than a fully realized protagonist.
Hey, boss, you okay?
Do I look okay?
No.
Then what are you, a fucking moron? You're always saying the obvious. I can't believe I'm surrounded by people like you.
Sorry.
And here is a similar cutscene, similar situation, but with Luis and Toni again. They argue, yes, but as equals.
Oh, where the fuck have you been, man?
Yeah, I came as soon as I could.
I don't pay for as soon as I could. Sleep with half the women in Liberty City, no doubt.
What's wrong with you, man? You acting like an asshole.
You think I don't know that? You think I like being like this?
Then what's wrong, T?
Even at the very end of the game, Salvatore Leone promises Toni $2 million for completing the final mission, the Sicilian Gambit, where, once again, Toni risks his life to save Salvatore from the Sicilian gang. But when it's all over, Sal says that he only promised him $1 million and that he's even gonna give him $500,000, saying that you can't put a price on friendship.
You did good, Toni. You did real good. I always knew you was a good kid. You saved my ass a few times, and I appreciate that kind of loyalty.
Thank you.
A good worker? I like that. Respectful. So I got you that $500,000 I promised.
Half? Ooh, I thought you, said a couple.
I said $1 million. For what? You can put a price on friendship? The kind of friendship you and me have? Shame on you. Come here. You're a good kid, but shame on you.
It's such a clear example of emotional manipulation. Salvatore laughs it off, acting like Toni is the one in the wrong for simply asking for what was promised. He even blames him for bringing up the money, as if Toni's loyalty and sacrifices should just come for free. And Toni doesn't object. He doesn't even push back. It just reinforces the idea that Salvatore uses him for personal gain, and Toni accepts it without question. Keep in mind, this is the final cutscene of the entire game. Rockstar chose to end it on this note for a reason. It leaves the player with a strong impression that Toni is still stuck under Salvatore's thumb. Now compare that to the final cutscene between Luis and Toni Prince. There is genuine friendship, respect, and closure between them. They treat each other as equals. No manipulation, no power games.
We prosper.
We took on this town and we won. We took on this place and we gave it the fucking finger. Fuck you all! I don't care what people say. Tony Prince and Luis Lopez could not be stopped.
Meanwhile, even a few years later in GTA 3, Tony is referred to as a high-ranking member, which sounds impressive, but considering all he's done, it's underwhelming. He's still working for Salvatore, still playing second fiddle, when in fact the family wouldn't have even survived without Tony's help. And honestly, that's what makes him such an uninteresting protagonist to me. You're playing as someone who never really breaks free or defines himself, just a loyal lapdog to a boss who barely respects him. Mad at me yet? Just a quick reminder, we are talking about fictional characters here, so no need to be too heated. But you know who's not a fictional character? That's right, me. So if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, as it's gonna help me make more of the things that I love, which is creating these videos, instead of just fighting over characters who won't even gain a thing from your efforts, or even acknowledge it. But I will. Huge shout out to Spidey, the only member of the channel, as this kind of help really supports the channel. Thank you all for watching, and let's continue. Always pissed off with no personality. Tony just comes off as angry for no reason, all the time. He barely speaks in the cutscenes, and when he does, it's usually just more of that same grumpy tone. He honestly feels like a one-dimensional character, kind of like Claude, but if Claude can talk. Or better yet, Salvatore's ChatGPT, programmed only to follow orders and sound annoyed while doing it. And it's not like Tony's the only GTA protagonist with the pissed off attitude. Vic Vance and Franklin both have that too, but the difference is they actually have personalities. Vic has a heart. He shows empathy, like he stood up for Luis after finding out Marty was abusing her. He even cracks jokes and laughs each now and then. He's not just an angry guy 24/7. Even when he's mad, he might say something funny or sarcastic.
So this is where the coke is going? Up your nose?
And Franklin, yeah, he gets pissed off a lot of times too, but at least he thinks for himself. He questions Lamar's lifestyle, distances himself from it, and when Michael comes into the picture, even though they met on bad terms at first, Franklin sees the opportunity and takes it.
But look, I met this contact, this white dude. Real serious dude, man. This motherfucker know the streets, homie. I know he'd be a good hookup for us.
We don't need no hookup, fool. I know these streets.
But Tony, he doesn't seem to have anything beyond that one angry tone. There is no warmth, no real humor, no deeper layer. I even made a video showcasing the funniest moment for each protagonist. Go check it out, by the way. And Tony by far was the hardest to find anything funny from. His personality is just weirdly flat, to a level I honestly don't even understand. Heartless. At one point, Tony gets jealous because his own mother keeps comparing him to other men, especially Giovanna Casa, a local deli owner, just to guilt trip and belittle him. Yeah, she constantly criticizes him for not being successful or respectable enough. Even his mother sees it, I guess, or maybe she's just crazy or both. I don't know. Anyway, Tony, being pissed off as usual, decided to kill Giovanni. He kills him, chops his body up, and sells it back to the deli as meat for people to eat. Yeah, that's Tony for you. And don't even get me started on the time he blew up an entire block just to weaken a rival mafia family. Now personally, I'm not a fan of characters who are completely heartless. It makes me feel like I'm not playing an anti-hero, I'm just playing as a straight up villain. And that's basically Tony in a nutshell. He has no real depth. The only thing you could maybe respect is his undying loyalty to Salvatore Leone. But even then, it's loyalty to a mafia boss, so it's not that good of a thing. That kind of loyalty is exactly why he does horrible things, like bombing up an entire district, spreading chaos and terror, just because Salvatore told him to. And yeah, to gain $5,000. Hooray! And the problem is, there is nothing good he does to balance it out. Not a single moment that makes me feel like there is a human being underneath the angry exterior. Now, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of heartless characters in GTA. Take Tommy Vercetti for example. He is also one-dimensional in many ways. But the difference, Tommy is charismatic. He owns his villainy and he is entertaining enough to make it work. And then you have CJ, who's a great example of a more layered protagonist. Yeah, CJ does bad things too, but there is a balance. There is some kind of moral compass. When he burns down a house in Vagos, territory, he realizes an innocent woman, Denise, is inside, and he goes in to save her, or take the situation with Mad Dog. CJ was partly responsible for ruining his life, but later he genuinely feels guilty and stops him from jumping off a roof. Maybe out of remorse, maybe to manage him. It doesn't matter. It shows he's capable of empathy, of reflection, of something human. Toni, he has none of that. The closest we get is when he gets mad at Vincenzo for talking to his mom on the phone while getting a blowjob from a prostitute. That's it. Yeah, that's his human moment. Nothing to empathize with. Throughout Toni's entire storyline, there is nothing to empathize with. His relationship with his mother feels more like a running joke than an actual emotional thread. He's never relatable, never vulnerable, and we learn next to nothing about who he is beyond just being angry. His ma constantly berates him, pressures him, and argues over the smallest things because she believes he'll never live up to his father's legacy. Now, that could have been a strong emotional angle, but it's never explored seriously. The game never gives it weight, it just plays it for laughs. At one point she even goes as far as to send hitmen to kill her own son because she doesn't think he's man enough. And Toni's reaction? Just half-hearted annoyed, "Ma."
I called a hit on you. It's really the only way, man, for you.
What? Ma?
Later we even hear him cry about it on GTA 3 radio station.
Real angry. It's my ma. She don't think I'm a real man. Can you imagine that? I mean, I do a man's job and all, but she treats me like a little boy. All I get is, "Your pa this and your pa that, and you ain't a real man, Toni," and it's driving me freaking nuts.
Well, Toni...
Toni? How'd you know my name was Toni? You tracing this call? 'Cause if you are, you're gonna get real intimately acquainted with what your brains look like. My name ain't Toni, okay?
Okay.
But my mom, she keeps going, Toni, be a real man, stand up for yourself, don't take no shit. But all I do is to be a good son, and I want her to show that she cares for me, show that she loves me, and say I was a good kid. But it seems like nothing's ever good enough for her, you know what I mean?
And again, it's comedy, not character development. That relationship, which could have added real depth to his story, ends up feeling like a joke. And outside of that, there is nothing personal happening to Toni that we can latch onto as players. No inner conflict, no growth, no relationships that humanize him. Nothing that makes us go, yeah, I get what he's going through. He's not a tragic anti-hero. He's just a guy who follows orders, stays pissed, and exists in the story without ever evolving. GTA Liberty City Stories itself. To be honest, I see Liberty City Stories as the weakest game in the 3D universe. It didn't really bring anything new to the table. In fact, after playing San Andreas and the fact that it got released after it, makes it feel like a step backward. The gameplay is basically Vice City but on the GTA 3 map, with even fewer features than Vice City had. If you look at the progression of the series, GTA 3 started the 3D universe, Vice City built on that and improved things while having its own vibe, and then San Andreas pushed boundaries with its sheer size, mechanics and systems. And then comes Liberty City Stories, which doesn't really improve anything. It actually feels like it should have come out between GTA 3 and Vice City, not after San Andreas. I get that it was developed for the PSP, so of course it couldn't be massive. It was meant to be a side title while Rockstar worked on GTA 4. And that's totally fine. But still, even Vice City Stories, also on the PSP, introduced new mechanics, like the drug empire system, managing businesses, territory wars, and other features that were completely new to the 3D universe. Liberty City Stories didn't do that. It felt like, why would I play this game when I have San Andreas, Vice City Stories, you know what I mean? And another thing that really bothered me was the cutscenes. A lot of them aren't pre-rendered or motion captured like other GTAs. Most are just in-game models standing around and talking, which makes it feel like a mod at times. Even GTA 3 didn't do that. The game heavily relies on these in-engine cutscenes that just serves to give you a reason to go shoot someone, but they don't feel cinematic or interesting. Honestly, maybe that's part of why I never cared much for Toni Cipriani as a protagonist. When the game itself feels like filler, it's hard to be invested in the guy you're playing as. But credit where it's due, the game's theme song is fire. I mean, listen to that. yeah, long story short, I didn't like Toni Cipriani that much because how one-dimensional he felt. But if you want to see a complicated protagonist that is done right, check out this video right there, where I talked about the good things Trevor did, who was an evil character. But still, he's able to do good because he's not one-dimensional. Thanks a lot for watching, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Thanks a lot for Spidey for supporting the channel, and I see you guys in the next video. Peace.